I will raise my hand up to the Lord above. I'm gonna raise my hand up to the Father and the Son. I will raise my hand for all the miracles He's done. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord.
Well, good morning, everyone. We want to welcome you to Praise FM, and this is a new show called Spotlight, and a show where we're going to be, over the next few months, having bands, local bands coming in and sharing a little bit about their work and about their songs and about their music and about their faith in Jesus Christ. So Spotlight, look out for that over the coming Saturdays, and we'll make sure that we post it on our Facebook so that you can know when we've got interviews coming up. So we have special guests here this morning, and I've got to say these guys are gigglers, to say the least. They laugh a lot and they giggle a lot. They remind me a little bit about the Gay for Homecoming radio, where they just end up laughing all the time. But this band, a great band, is called An Evening of Gospel. So how are you doing, guys?
Good, great. How are you?
Yeah, it's great to see you all here. So just give us your names.
I'm Tina Mumford-Keogh.
Okay.
Jeff Bezanson.
Yeah.
And I'm Todd McInver.
Okay, right, great. So I've got some information down here. You're going to have to come a bit closer to the mics, guys. So let's have a look at this. We got Jeff, who's bass vocalist. So you're Jeff. You're Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
You're the great bass guitarist that I've been listening to. I have to say, because you don't really use drums, do you, in your music?
No drums.
No, we don't.
Not in this band.
That's right. But your bass guitar is fantastic. So that helps. In fact,
he's not bad.
He's not bad, eh? They give you a hard time, I reckon, Jeff. Is that right, eh?
They do.
I've got that feeling that, they pull your leg a lot. And then we have Tina, who's a pianist and vocalist. And Tina, you look lovely today, can I say?
Oh, thank you.
And I've heard your singing, so our listeners are in for a treat today, because you've got a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, just for those who are listening from Faith Baptist Church, I'm trying to recruit them for our music band, because we've got some very talented guys here. And then there's Todd. Todd is the bluegrass guitarist. Is that right?
It is. You could say that.
Yeah. So you love the old bluegrass acoustic.
I was brought up on bluegrass gospel, and that acoustic sound. Yes.
And I heard that
harmonies.
You're sort of trying to take over the group a little bit and steer them towards the old bluegrass.
Now you're going to get us giggling now.
Yeah?
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I mean, because it's a superior form of music, is that right?
I have Tina almost there.
Yes. Now, Tina, you like a little bit of the contemporary style as well,
I do.
don't you? You like contemporary
I do, very
music.
much so.
That's great.
So on the drive here, it was a fight between Todd and I of which station we were going to listen to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so actually it must be very difficult then when you've got three people that like different types of music.
I like that southern bluegrass, southern gospel.
Yeah?
Genre, and she's more into the young.
So you have a good old fight on who's going to listen to what on the radio. You see, I've got 6 children, and so I have that problem all the time. Although they all sort of like similar styles of modern music, but
strength in numbers.
If I start putting on any of my music, then they all sort of want to climb out the windows. But I won't tell you what sort of music I like. But listen, we're going to find out a little bit more about you yourselves. Your sort of walk in Christ, and how you came together as a band, and what influences your music. But we've got one of your first tracks coming up, which is I Will Raise My Hands. Tell us a little bit about that track.
Well, that's the title cut of the CD, and I wrote that tune, a year and a half ago? Something like that, yeah. And basically the tune, I like to write about the book of Revelation a little bit, just basically because we're going to experience a lot of hard times for the tribulation and stuff like that, but the end of it is the glorious end, and that's what I like. I really get quite inspired to writing that what am I trying to say? The positive message at the end of Revelation. Right. And one of the lines in the tune is, glory, glory, hallelujah, Revelation's coming true.
Amen. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's got a very catchy tune to it as well. I have to say, I've been humming that song much to my children's dissatisfaction for the last few days. So I've been listening to it a number of times. It's interesting. So, I mean, some people can look at the book of Revelation and see it's quite a negative thing. But actually, when you look at it, God is working out his purposes to completion for the good of humanity
Yes,
in the
it's
long
all coming
term.
true.
So that's right. And so really your song sort of reflects on that, and he's really saying that, you know, there's good news in the purposes of God, which is fantastic. And listen, we're going to let people choose for themselves whether there's good news in this song or not by playing I Will Raise My Hands.
I will raise my hand up to the Lord above. I'm gonna raise my hand up to the Father and the Son. I will raise my hand for all the miracles He's done. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord. Well, Jesus is my Savior and He died for you and me when they nailed Him to the cross upon that hill on Calvary. Well, no one ever thought they'd see Him again, but He rose on up to heaven and He freed me from my sin. I will raise my hand up to the Lord above. I'm gonna raise my hand up to the Father and the Son. I will raise my hand for all the miracles He's done. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord. Wickedness in this whole world is very plain to see. You can read it in the papers and you can watch it on TV. But don't you worry, 'cause the Savior's coming soon. Glory, glory, hallelujah, Revelation's coming true. I will raise my hand up to the Lord above. I'm gonna raise my hand up to the Father and the Son. I will raise my hand for all the miracles He's done. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord.
Oh, we get caught, you see, because we're talking and chatting in the studio, and then the music comes to an end. You're going to have to write longer tracks, and then we can talk a bit more and have a good old chat. But so really, we want to find out about you, yeah? So this is Jeff, Tina, and Todd. We want to find out about the three of you and a little bit about sort of your background, because we obviously are going to get to know you through your music, but who are you as people? So let's start off with where you're from. So are you all from the same area? Were you all born in Nova Scotia or?
In the Windsor area, yeah. Todd, in the Windsor area. Todd is down the shore, down at Shivery.
We're all Hants County.
Hants County.
Oh, right, okay. So that's in Nova Scotia. Sorry, you have to excuse my ignorance.
Yes, Annapolis Valley.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay, right. And so did you know each other as you was growing up, or?
Well, Jeff and I have known each other for quite a long time, since we were about 12 and 14, thereabouts.
Right.
And
One of us was 12 and one of us was 14.
Yeah, so one of you's older than me. I'm not even going to go there, to be honest with you. But yeah, so you actually, you went to the same school? Or,
we did.
we did.
We met in the band program, actually, at the high school.
Wow,
Yeah.
fantastic. So this has been a lifelong friendship then that you...
Oh yeah,
you've had.
absolutely, yeah. And we had a very good music program at the school we went to. Brian Johnson was the band leader, and at a very early age in our life, like you say, 12, 14 years old, we were winning Canadian Stage Band festivals on a national basis and that sort of thing. So it was an incredible experience, and very, it taught us a lot.
Yes.
We formed a little country group within that jazz group, which was kind of interesting.
Oh, so you really started off with the jazzy style of music, and then you moved into a country style.
Yeah.
Right, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how did this young man, Todd, how did he sort of join the equation?
Well, me being the baby of the band. Sorry.
Well, that's right. I recognise you're the youngest by far.
Yes.
I can tell that, Todd, by your dexterity.
And if you did recognize it, I would let you know. No, I met Jeff when I was about 15 years old, actually, and I grew up in a different environment. I wasn't schooled music. I had my own homeschooling.
Oh, right, okay.
With came out of a huge musical family.
Wow.
My brother played professionally, Tommy Hunter Show, played for Rita McNeil
Right, yeah,
for years,
yeah.
and so music was all around me. So the weekend was full of music in our house.
Wow.
So I was really
Sort of beautiful, creative environment.
It was lots of harmonies and lots of music and lots
Right.
of.
So the guitar,
camaraderie.
did you start playing that at a young age? Or?
I was probably about 13 when I started
When you
playing.
picked up the
yeah,
guitar.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the very first bands we put together was when I met you, and then we put
That's
together
right.
the River Band.
A band called River Band.
But we did a lot of playing in the younger years. We backed up Ruby Daly
right,
and unfortunately we just lost Ruby here a little while ago. Right?
I was with Ruby for years in her band.
Right.
So
And we did some really nice jobs with her over the years.
And what would your style have been?
that would have been country, modern country back then. That was
Right.
back, when.
Yeah, because there's been a change in country and southern.
Yeah, this
more
was
modern
back in the
stuff, yeah.
Brooks and Dunn days.
So how
you
modern
know.
are we talking like 60s, 70s, 80s?
No,
Late 80s.
Late 80s.
Oh,
late
right,
80s.
okay.
Like I say, when Alan Jackson was first coming out and
Yeah.
Brooks and Dunn, we actually
we did the warm-up spot.
We did the warm-up spot for Brooks and Dunn actually when we were with Ruby.
Right.
at Pearly
and,
Beach.
and many more. So
And so you worked with this young lady here, and you worked with this young man here, but you two never sort of met in any of the circles that you mixed in.
first time I actually met Tina was at our first rehearsal.
Right.
Yeah, which is which is really, really strange because Jeff knowing her
Right.
all their lives, them knowing each other, and Jeff and I knowing each other. But
Well,
it's
they say you save the best till last, wasn't it? So I mean, this was the blessing that you
yeah,
had
I came in
on the
last.
horizon. All those
Not
prayers,
as good, is
all
it?
those
Yes.
prayers of blessing that people have prayed over your life accumulated in your
That's
meeting.
They said now
meeting
we
Todd,
have
yeah?
all the ingredients for the cake. We just need some icing.
That's right. Oh, so you're telling me that? Can I just clarify this then? You're telling me that you're the decoration of the
The
group.
decoration.
So they
icing,
didn't
and
recruit you for your guitar playing.
No,
they
no,
recruited
no,
you
no.
for your
No,
looks.
it's just
eye
for my
candy,
looks.
yes.
Eye candy.
That's
It's
what
the
it
eye
is.
candy. Oh, right. Well,
I think I need a pair of glasses.
The red faced.
That's right. Do you know what? You've got him blushing,
No.
so you're doing a pretty
You
good
do.
job here, right?
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
That's right. Well, that's good. You're getting your own back out. I'm sure he's pulled your leg a few times. So.
That's just blood
That's great.
pressure.
That's what it is.
Just looking at the next song is Rise Again. So tell us a little bit about Rise Again.
Unfortunately, the song came to us because I had a very dear friend
Right.
that had passed away.
Right.
And his family asked me if I would sing at the funeral, and
Okay.
they brought this song to me. And we were just about finished recording the CD, and we had a concert just before the funeral. And I said to the boys, just take a listen to this song. And they said, Tina, we have to put that on the CD.
Right.
It was
Okay.
just something that spoke to all of us, and it's just an amazing song.
Yeah.
And it holds a very special spot in my heart because
Yes.
of my dear friend.
Let's have a listen to this wonderful song.
Go ahead, drive the nails in my hands, laugh at me where you stand. will see that you were wrong. Go ahead, try to hide the sun, but all will see that I'm the one. 'Cause I'll come again. There's no power on earth can keep me back. Yes, I'll come again. Come to take my people back.
That's Rise Again, An Evening of Gospel, a beautiful song. I have to say, Tina, you've got a fantastic voice. The way that
you.
you can hear not just that you've got a very strong voice, but you put your heart into the music that you sing, and you can hear that coming through. It almost brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? It's probably a good job we were talking now, so I might have ended up crying at that point. Because no, seriously, it's very resonant with emotion and with meaning. So you've got a great voice that connects with people, which is great. So talking a little bit, I mean, we've got a song coming up called "I Believe" in a few minutes, and just I want to get a bit of a feel for sort of like your background, really. I mean, did you guys grow up in Christian homes? I mean, how did things work out in your sort of your child? Because obviously everybody thinks that if you're into Southern Gospel or bluegrass or whatever, you've probably been weaned generation after generation in the church. What's your background as people?
I personally grew up in a house knowing who Jesus was.
Okay.
And being surrounded by music and playing every weekend at gatherings and potlucks.
Right.
Where we call them jams.
Yes.
And at any one of those jams, you could hear lots of gospel music being sung. Whether it be "I Saw the Light," "I'll Fly Away," so everyone joined in. So that's how I grew up, basically.
Right.
Like I say, knowing who he was and surrounded by gospel music.
Right. So did you play other forms of music as well, or was it primarily Christian?
No, actually, I started out bluegrass,
right?
Which has a lot of gospel, in it. And I still do play in a band. It's 27 years of New Shade of Blue, and we have an all gospel CD as well. So
yeah.
And then when I met Jeff, actually, I went over to country. It seemed to be it's where the market was. As musicians.
That's right. Yeah.
We do need
still have to pay your bills.
We need to make a living.
Right,
that's right. Yeah.
We do need to eat, and so.
That's right.
You've done a pretty good job.
Especially if you're the eye candy. I understand. Yeah? I mean, you know what? You're not going to ever live that down now. You've said that.
Which brings me to when do we eat?
Can I just say, is it true, Todd? I've heard on the grapevine that you're the only single one out of the whole band as well.
That's
is that right?
Very, very true.
Right. I just heard that rumor that you were an eligible bachelor.
I'm the baby of the band.
Yeah.
I'm the eye candy of the band and the single guy.
And obviously very talented as well.
And talented, yes.
Yeah. And have good tasting clothes.
And great tasting.
Yeah, great
Look
clothes,
good, don't I? Thanks.
Okay, so
just you guys can have
so just a little bit about your background. Christian families? Did you grow up?
I grew up. Actually, Tina and I both grew up in the United Church in Windsor, and Mom and Dad, they were. For a little while, they were churchgoers. My sister and I were always made to go to Sunday school, which is, I don't know, today I find a lot of people do not make their children go to Sunday school.
There's more of that
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, it's really nice because you had that base, that building foundation of knowing who Jesus was and knowing who God was.
So you heard about the stories of Jesus
and all the stories,
the miracles, and which often a lot of the music, as you say, in southern and country and bluegrass, has got Christian lyrics and often scripture in the songs.
In the song itself, yes.
So, that resonates then when you actually hear songs or you're putting songs together, because you have that background of knowing something about the faith, which is good. So.
Even songs when we were kids, like Jesus Loves the Little Children,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All the children of the... You remember that.
Jesus wants me for a sunbeam, and
Yes.
this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
We remember that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, do you know when I sing those songs in the retirement homes, all the old people, they start clapping.
Oh, yes.
They're quite neutral sometimes when you first go in, but as soon as you start playing This Little Light of Mine, or he's got the whole world in his hands,
Yeah.
Yes,
they all start
exactly.
clapping and tapping their feet. So they do
Certainly
remember
will.
those,
We
as
do
you say,
remember
those
Those
kids'
are, they're a
choruses.
mindset. They're always there in your
Yeah, that's
your
right.
heart and soul.
But it's really interesting how this group came together, because of what had happened. I mean, I accepted Jesus when I was around 16, and I always had that kind of a desire or being drawn to do what we're doing now,
Right.
but never ever went through with it. I was one of these vain people that thought I could do it on my own, and we all know how things work out when you try to do that on your own. So I ended up getting the caretaker job at the Windsor Baptist Church here about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay, right.
And so I've been working there. I'm a school bus driver,
Yes.
and so in between my runs, I do the caretaker work.
Right.
2 years ago, Tina came
Right.
as the choir director,
Music
Oh,
director.
yeah.
music director, yeah.
Right.
And like I said, we grew up together, but we kind of our paths went different routes. Came back together, which I truly believe God's doing that.
Amen.
And then asked Todd to join the band, and it's just been going
It's
steady ever since.
You had to think long and hard about joining these two, I would imagine. Would they cramp your style? I understand. I understand the issues that you had to go through, right?
I scared him.
Did you? Yeah. So you're quite what's the word I'm looking for? Not a strong personality, but a capable lady. That's
Well,
right.
I'm 32 years retired teacher,
Oh,
so
right,
I can give
okay.
him the look if I need to.
Oh yes. The look that if you carry on, you're in detention, or
It's done quite often.
does it? I was going to say, yeah, he's put in detention quite often. So does it actually work on him, or?
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, of
He knows
course.
when to be quiet.
I
then.
do. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks quite scared now.
I'm
So
petrified.
first of all, you embarrassed this poor guy, and now he looks quite fearful. So
But there's nothing wrong with a little healthy fear.
But that's right.
that's right.
Absolutely.
So Tina, from what Jeff said, that you grew up in a Christian home as well? Or?
I did, and my story is really quite easy
Right.
compared to.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been in the church, so
Right.
it was Sunday school, and then confirmed at age 14, and continued, and
Right.
and of course I went off to university, and I followed a classical path of music
Right.
and then went into teaching, and during that time I was still singing in church and had choirs and was directing choirs and such. But I found that a lot of my friends and people that I had grown up with musically
Yes.
were going on to different genres. I found it a very lonely existence for a
Right.
while. So
Okay.
it was like, this is what I want to do,
Yeah.
but there's no one else out there at this
Right.
point.
So as you
So-
got older and went into your adult life, you found your friends were sort of moving off into different things,
Yes.
and different styles of music. And
Absolutely.
So because you enjoyed this sort of style of music and spiritual music, it became a struggle for you. Right.
Yes, and if you wanted to play with anyone
Yeah,
else.
that's right,
So
yeah.
I did a lot of solo work, and I've done
Okay.
a lot of solo work, and but then it was great because Compassion Canada came along.
Yes, right.
And George
okay.
Canyon was coming to Windsor, and
Right.
Jeff and I were asked if we would do the warm-up spot for him.
Right.
So
okay.
because we were both employed at the church where he was
Right.
coming, and so I truly believe that God is all in this.
Amen.
All
Oh,
in
yeah,
this.
That's right.
And it's just wonderful. And then to bring Todd along.
Yeah, that's great. Well, yeah, that's right.
Why did you
what?
laugh?
It says about God putting in those who have no family into a family. So so you sort of adopted
That's
sort of
right.
Todd really into your family. Is
That's
that
right.
right? Eh?
That's
God
right.
said-
The little
Yeah.
brother.
God said, "I bring you a gift."
Yeah. That's right. or a black sheep of the family. Not sure which one.
We have to minister to all types.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So look at this song. I believe. Tell us a little bit about what's really behind that song.
Well, that song is a Jimmy Fortune tune, and Jimmy used to be the high singer for was it Statler Brothers?
He was with the Statler Brothers. I brought the song to the table. I used to.
Well, you brought that song to the table on our Sunday morning little YouTube ventures.
That's right, and that was my job of getting on YouTube and finding some gospel music while breakfast was.
So you have a
cooked.
YouTube channel, do you?
No, I just go on. It's my job to go in and find some good gospel music for Sunday while breakfast.
Yeah.
So this is one of those tunes, and it's Jimmy
Get
Fortune.
me and my wife crying.
Yeah, that's right.
Every Sunday
So
morning.
I said you have to listen to this tune, so I put it on, and of course these guys sat on the couch, and it brought tears. And it's another bluegrass flavored tune that we put our own
spin on
it, you know.
Right.
And it's one of my favorites.
Okay, well, we're going to play it right now. I Believe.
When I see the sunrise in the morning, when I feel the wind blow across my face, when I hear the sound of children playing, I know it's all part of God's amazing grace. And I believe there's a place called heaven. And I believe in a place called Calvary. And I believe in a man, his name is Jesus. And I believe that he gave his life for me. I was there the day my mama went to heaven. I held her hand as she closed her eyes to sleep, and I felt the power of 10,000 angels take her soul away to be crowned at Jesus' feet. And I believe there's a place called heaven. And I believe in a place called Calvary. And I believe in a man, his name is Jesus. And I believe that he gave his life for me. Oh, I believe that he gave his life for
Well, you're listening to Spotlight, and we have guests with us. An evening of gospel. Jeff and Tina and Todd, and We've been looking a little bit about your past and sort of your upbringing, where you're from, and a little bit about your faith and your journey of faith, the sort of families you've come from. I'm going to move it on now just to sort of talk a little bit about your music, and obviously there's been a lifelong love for music in all three of you. You can sort of feel that the way that you talk about music, and so we want to find out a little bit more about sort of your influences, what bands you've been a part of before. So who wants to go first? Just tell us a little bit about your sort of biography, if you like, of bands. What sort of bands have you been connected to?
For me, I grew up the Opry, the Grand Ole Opry. You know, that old country, harmony, bluegrass, old country, 80s country, right straight up through, and. For this completes me because I think it's a flavor.
Right.
It's all in a bowl and mixed together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's where I really find this. I get the acoustic part of it. I get the harmonies. I get the message. It's all combined to. I'm going. Yeah, this is what I was looking for.
Yeah, because I mean, I've been listening. You sent your tracks a few days ago to Praise FM so we could put them on our database. And one of the things that's very clear is there are certain different styles within your music. And so, as you're saying, if you grew up with a particular style like bluegrass, and then you bring these two other guys with their chemistry into the mix, it expands you, doesn't it, and develops a wider.
Yeah, because Tino's classically trained. Jeff studied jazz,
right?
And I was just brought up basically covering anything that came through the kitchen.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever. But I think that's what we needed as a mix. I mean, if we were all classically trained, or if we were all jazz, it wouldn't. We're getting a good blend.
It adds that much more versatility to the band.
Yeah, it's a different flavor than.
Yeah. So were you involved in other bands as well?
I was in bands at an early age, starting with Jeff. My first band, Riverbend, a country band with Jeff and some other guys from back in the Windsor area, and that went on for about 4 years.
Yeah,
And then we had another little band after that, and then Jeff introduced me to Ruby Daly. And I was young then, and I played with Ruby for probably her longest standing band member. I was with Ruby for quite a few years.
Todd and I did a lot of touring with different people over the years. When I left the River Band, then I went to play with Boot Hill for a while, and that was just pretty much a city circuit band, that sort of thing. All in it. And then Todd and I actually ended up playing in Dubai, but a 6-month contract over there back when it was first starting to build up big and heavy, and that was in the late 90s.
Right, wow.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, very. So yeah, we had quite a journey. I mean,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so did you ever sort of express your jazzy sort of side of your nature, or?
Periodically, yeah. But not with this particular group, really.
In a couple, in saying that, when there's a couple songs that we do that I hear the jazz coming.
Right. Okay. So he can't help himself.
And it fits.
Yes.
In particular places like.
Right.
I'm still waiting for them to let me do a bass solo. But
is that right? Well, listen, I'm fully supportive of you doing a bass solo. So you guys step back and let him get up front with his sunglasses on and
do
look cool.
Listen, if Jocko can do it, I can too. I only wish I could play like you.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit about yourself, Tina. You're obviously classically trained, and sort of bands that you've been connected to. And
when I was in Halifax, I went to Dal for my undergrad, and so I got connected with some members of the Stad Band.
Right.
And so I ended up doing a long stint with a group called Canada's Brass.
Right, okay.
And we would go out and we'd play at different functions, and they were at the PC party at that time in Nova Scotia was really fond of the band, so we played at a lot of PC functions.
Right.
And I also dabbled a little bit in some television production and things within CBC in Halifax.
Right.
So I was on 3 different shows with them, and I had sung with the Acadia Stage Band as well. So we did a show at one point, and then I was doing a few jingles.
Okay.
And so I did a Maritime Tell and Tell one, and I did one for Tourism Nova Scotia, and then not that long ago I actually did another one for Sunnyside Mall in Bedford. So there just a few.
No, you shouldn't tell me that. I might get you to do one for Praise FM.
Hey.
Got you 3 in here. We could get you doing one for Praise FM.
Sure.
I mean, so looking at your experience, I mean, obviously you're really it's very professionally background, working in quite professional institutions and bring quality. So you bring the quality to this band. I've got that feeling. Is that right? I mean, you try and keep them in order, and
I try.
I know it's going to be a tough
full-time
job. Yeah?
That's why I retired.
That's right.
To look after them.
No, so they actually forced you into retirement.
They
then.
did.
Is that right?
They
From
did.
what you're saying.
Well, it became so busy, honestly, that it did become so busy that I was finding it a struggle to be playing on the weekends and teaching through the week, and the opportunity came up to say, okay, take an early retirement or not, and I thought, leap of faith, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow. So listen, we're going to play two of your tracks back to back now, and sort of look at what these. So we've got When God Shows His Presence and Put Your Hand in the Hand. So tell us a little bit about those two tracks for us.
When God Shows His Presence is actually a song that I wrote, and it's the current single right now. Now we just released that about a month ago, guys. I guess it was 3 weeks ago, something like that.
So it's brand new. It's literally.
It's brand new, and to U.S. radio, and the response has just been overwhelming. We had a whole network of stations, a firm Southern Gospel network, wanting our tune and wanting more music. Now this network, I think it consists of around 140 stations nationwide across the U.S. So we're very blessed. I mean, people are really enjoying the message, and we're just excited about it.
We are very.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So you've had a good pickup from this particular song.
We sure have.
On the launch. That's great.
Yeah.
And Put Your Hand in the Hand, we actually have a video on YouTube.
Right.
That's right.
So you can just plug in an evening of gospel, and we should pop
up. So you type in an evening of gospel, and you've got your own channel with a video of that particular.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos. Put Your Hand in the Hand and Raise My Hand.
Okay.
And actually, we're going next weekend. We are starting to shoot some more videos to pop up on YouTube, and we're going to be doing them at our local church in Windsor.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Well, okay. Well, let's listen to these two tracks then. So, When God Shows His Presence and Put Your Hand in the Hand.
My Savior came a long, long time ago, humbly and lovingly showed us all the pathway home. But the leaders of the day didn't like what he had to say, so they nailed him to a cross, thinking he would go away. When God shows His presence for all the world to see, there'll be no more dying if you only believe in all His glory, in His new world yet to come. The devil and demons will be overcome. Signs of the times are everywhere. Open your eyes and see. Believers will be spared. And on that fateful day, when this old world goes away, and this new world has begun, for the battle has been won. When God shows His presence for all the world to see, there'll be no more dying. If you only believe in all His glory, in His new world yet to come, the devil and demons will be overcome. The devil
an evening of gospel live in the studio with us today. That's Jeff, Tina and Todd. And I have to say, Todd, you are a bit of a mover, aren't you, mate? I didn't know that when I saw you.
You wouldn't have guessed it, right?
They do say white men can't dance, but if you'd have seen Todd doing the hand jiving to put your hands in the hand, I mean, I was impressed.
How do you think I stay so thin?
So you're saying that athletic physique is because you've learned to do hand jives? I've got you. Wow, that's good. I'm not going to comment on that. You do look rather slim, mate. I can't say anything because the good thing about radio,
Dark, loose clothing.
That's what it is, and stripes.
And stripes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the thing is that that's why I went into radio, not television. You see. So nobody really knows what you look like. But, so we an evening of gospel. First of all, an evening of gospel. Tell us a little bit about the name. That's a slightly unusual name.
We couldn't come up with a name.
Right.
Basically,
It's actually, that's what was on the billboard the first night we played, is an evening of gospel, and it sort of named us
Oh, right. So
itself.
So the actual, when they didn't know what to call you because you hadn't got a name for yourselves yet.
What did they?
So they just said there's an evening of gospel.
We
music.
didn't have a name.
So you sort of took the evening of gospel off the poster. That's a good advertisement. Anywhere that you see an evening of gospel, you're being advertised.
There you
That's
go.
right.
That's right.
That's a great
Never
idea.
thought of it that way.
The problem we're having.
Well, you could call yourselves Exit, and then everywhere there's an exit sign. You've got a billboard for your band. So an evening of gospel's the same principle. I get you. Very, very shrewd, I have to say. So
it works sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes people drive by a venue and see an evening of gospel, and they don't relate that to a band.
Right.
So we're actually in talks now of changing it to an evening of gospel trio.
Right.
So it labels us.
It labels you, yeah. So you've been together about a year and a half. Tell us a little bit about how you came together.
We started with the George Canyon opening. That was Jeff and I,
right,
and a student of mine. Actually, I teach voice and piano students as well, so we kind of feature her a little bit, and it was so overwhelmingly positive that we thought, okay, this was kind of fun, and we kind of like to do this.
So you got a very good feedback from
we had
incredible
feedback
from the audience.
Excellent feedback.
They were asking us if we had a CD. And
at first, we didn't plan on going this.
No.
This went pretty rapid. It took off.
Rapid.
So that you almost sort of fell into this then, really. You were asked to do a
30-minute opening spot. Yeah, that's exactly. Warm-up spot.
Right. Wow.
And then, that went so well. Then they brought Robin Marek in to do a concert, which absolutely sold it. And that's when Todd came on board, and they wanted us to do a warm-up spot.
Right.
And again, the response was so overwhelming.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of pushed us to put this CD out. So you guys got to do a CD, and it's let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what impresses me about your CD? I mean, obviously we get a CD sent to us all the time. Because local artists want their music playing on radio, and sometimes it's tough. Commercial radio stations only take, and if you're an up-and-coming artist, it's very difficult. Where we've made a commitment at Praise FM to play local artists and to give them airtime. But the quality of your of your music is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And
thank you.
So where did you actually get it sort of produced?
Well, we recorded, again, we've had a little bit of loss in this whole project. We had some good friends pass away just in the last year, but the engineer that was doing the CD locally, Rick Strong, we lost him, it's the way, of lung cancer. But then we set all the tracks down to my old producer Gary Smith down in Nashville to have it mixed and mastered. Him and his son John Smith and I had done some work with those guys back in the 90s on my own project at the time.
Right.
Which was really nice. They put that Nashville spin on it, and we were really, really pleased with what the end result was.
Yeah.
To a point where they're really interested in us coming down to do a second project, possibly we're hoping within the next year and a half.
Right.
And this one will be nothing but original music. This whole scenario has given me such inspiration, and Tina's writing some fantastic stuff right now.
Right.
So we're writing a lot of new music these days.
Right.
And that's pretty much where we want to go.
Generally, a radio station wants to have music that is very good quality, been recorded very well. accomplished musicians, and you know, I have to say, the blend of your skills really works well.
Thank you.
You know, anybody that is thinking about whether to buy the CD or not, I highly recommend that they do, because the quality of the CD will sound great in the car. It really is very good, and you've only been together a year and a half. I mean, it's quite incredible that you've produced something of such quality in such a short time.
Oh, thanks very much, Rob.
And it found us too. I mean, we
absolutely, yeah.
We can't even say if
Completely
we found it.
godlike.
It found us. It was, you know.
Yes.
It's better said.
Well, and what we're going to do is we're going to play a couple of your tracks, and then we're going to talk about your concert, because that's coming up this evening and obviously tomorrow morning. So let's look at these last two tracks: "A Diamond in My Crown" and "Waiting for the Next Time." Just tell us a little bit about them.
"A Diamond in My Crown" is a song I brought to the table. Again, grew up with bluegrass and Emmylou. We got this from Emmylou Harris, who's one of my all-time favorite artists, and it's again came with a little bit of a bluegrass flavor, and we did it our style. And
right.
For this is a family song that I grew up. My brother sang it, my sister sang it.
Oh, so it's got a lot of history for you. Right.
A lot of history. It got sang at a lot of funerals and in the family and community. Is one of our family signature songs. I'll call it. So
yeah,
and so brought it to the table, and
that's
it's
great.
actually one of our most requested songs.
And then "Waiting for the Next Time."
Yeah, that's a song that I wrote. That's the third track. That's going to be coming out probably in the fall, some point in time. But again, that's just another song that I wrote pertaining to the second coming of Christ, you know, and I like to write about that sort of thing, because you can keep it positive, you know, and there's something to look forward to.
That's right. Well, he says that the hope of the church is the second coming of Christ, so that's great. So let's have a listen to these two tracks: "A Diamond in My Crown" and "Waiting for the Next Time."
As each long day goes by and falls behind me, in the loneliness there's a peacefulness I find. Though I'm weary even then, when I rise to start again, there'll be a diamond in my crown. I have wasted all that life has laid before
about to tell you, it's been told many times before. A little baby born down in Bethlehem. His name is Jesus and he is my Lord. He made water and the wine, gave sight to the blind. Came for both the rich and the poor. Well, you know I didn't see it, but I truly do believe it. Hallelujah, Jesus is my Lord. Well, Jesus and his 12 disciples made their way throughout the land, spreading the good news of God's great love to every woman, every child and man. But the leaders of the day hated what he had to say, and the money changers made him sore. Well, you know I didn't see it, but I truly do believe it. Hallelujah, Jesus is my Lord. So I'm waiting for the next time, dear Lord. I'm waiting for the next time when you come down in all your glory to do your reign. 1,000 years are coming, dear Lord. Can't you hear the band of strumming, singing way up loud sweet praises to your name? John, Luke, Paul, and Peter, they didn't know what to do. The night the soldiers came, bound him in shackles and chains. You know he bled for me and you. But the good Lord knew it wasn't over. There were lots of doing so much more. Well, you know I didn't see it. Blessed are if you believe it. Hallelujah, Jesus is my Lord. So I'm waiting for the next time, dear Lord. I'm waiting for the next time when you come down in all your glory to do your reign. 1,000 years are coming, dear Lord. Can't you hear the band of strumming, singing way up loud sweet praises to your name, singing way up loud sweet praises to your name.
Well, you're listening to Spotlight, and we have shining a spotlight, I have to say, upon an evening of gospel. And we're having a great time in the studio, lots of laughter and getting to know each other, which has been enjoyable. And I've got to say, I've enjoyed this interview. You are a very nice group, eh? There's no edges. You pull each other's legs. You know, it's very nice to speak to you. So why are you on the island? What are you doing here on Cape Breton Island? Eh?
We have a lot of fun on our live show. Yeah. So we're excited.
Yeah?
Well, we've got a couple of concerts coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we're tonight at the Heritage United Church in Sydney at 7 p.m.
Yes.
And tomorrow we are at Carmen United at their morning service for a little taste of what we're all about.
Yes.
And then at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Carmen United for our
Okay, and that's Sydney Mines, isn't it?
That's correct, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And a special thanks to Nick Phillips, who happens to be my cousin,
is that right?
who invited us to the island.
Mama combs his hair and Daddy helps him brush his teeth. Day after day for 30 years, the same routine. The special needs he lives with makes a life seem so unfair. But he thanks God every day, 'cause he knows Mom and Dad are there. And he's a hero, and she's a hero. It doesn't matter that nobody knows their names. They keep on giving to make a life worth a living might go unnoticed, but they're heroes just the same. They tried for many years to have a baby of their own. burden was their blessing in disguise. Now she's got a mom and daddy there to hold her when she cries. And he's a hero and she's a hero. It doesn't matter that nobody knows their names. They keep on giving to make life worth a living might go unnoticed, but they're heroes just the same. Every single parent who must carry twice the load, and those who sacrifice to raise a child that's not their own, they dedicate their time to make a difference in someone else's life. And in my eyes, he's a hero and she's a hero. It doesn't matter that nobody knows their names. They keep on giving to make life worth a living might go unnoticed, but they're heroes just the same. They might go unnoticed, but they're heroes just the same. He's a hero and she's a hero. It doesn't matter that nobody knows their names. They keep on giving to make life worth a living might go unnoticed, but they're heroes just the same. You might go unnoticed, but you're heroes.
I stood here in the courtroom. The judge turned my way. Looks like you're guilty. Now what do you say? I spoke up, Your Honor. I have no defense. But that's when mercy walked in. Mercy walked in and pleaded my case. Called to the stand, God's saving grace. The blood was presented that covered my sin, forgiven when mercy walked in. I stood there and wondered, how could this be? How someone so guilty had just been set free. My chains were broken. I felt born again. The moment that mercy walked in. And pleaded my case, called to the stand. God presented that covered my sin, forgiven when mercy walked in. Oh, the blood was presented that covered my sin, forgiven when mercy walked in.
As I walked through the doors, I sensed His presence, and I knew this was the place where love abounds. For this is the temple Jehovah God abides here. We are standing in His presence on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around. Let us praise Jesus now. We are standing in His presence on holy ground. In His presence there is joy beyond measure, and at His feet peace of mind can still be found. If you have a need, I know He has the answer. Reach out and claim it, child. You are standing on holy ground. We are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around. Let us praise Jesus now. We are standing in His presence on holy ground. Let us praise Jesus now. We are standing in His presence. We are standing in His presence. We are standing in His presence on holy ground.
I will raise my hand up to the Lord above. I'm gonna raise my hand up to the Father and the Son. I will raise my hand for all the miracles He's done. I'm gonna raise my hand up to my Lord